Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio, and I'm your host, Shannon Register, talking with you today about veteran organizations. And earlier, we talked about the Texas Honor Ride. If you have a question that you'd like answered, a real estate question, give us a call anytime at 281-882-8088, and we can answer those here on the air. So we're going to continue talking about some of the things leading up to Veterans Day. A lot of people celebrate Veterans Day. It's such a day to honor our vets that have given so much to our country. So even though it's not about real estate, we want to talk about it. And my next guest, Ian Faria, has information about Operation Finally Home. He is very familiar with this organization because you were with it from the very beginning.
That's correct. It started down in Friendswood in association with the Bay Area Builders Association, a subdivision of Greater Houston Builders Association. Really good group of people that saw a need and decided to do something about it. And it really started with Dan Walrath, who's our founder and president of the group. Somewhat of an interesting story. Dan had been a builder in this area for 20, 30 years and had a friend of his come to him and say, look, my son, Stephen Schultz, is coming back from overseas. He's got major head wounds. He's now in a wheelchair. We can't wheel him into our house. We can't take him into the shower. He can't get up. What do we do? And Dan's been building custom homes for 20, 30 years and came to our group, had been former president of our group, and said, is there anything we can do? Can we put something together? And this group of builders and associates, myself as a lawyer, and some other people said, sure, let's see what we can do. And the very first thing we did was we remodeled the Schultz's home, and that's how it all started.
Well, that's great to know where it actually started. So tell us what the organization does today. Like, what's the mission? What do you guys do?
Well, it's really grown significantly from that one little remodel job. The mission today is that we raise funds to build homes that we build for disabled veterans who come home that need that help to get their family back on track. And what we do is we build these homes. They usually range in price of about $250,000 to $350,000, and we give them away completely mortgage-free to those families. They're also furnished. We have a lot of partners that come in and donate furniture, televisions, anything that you would need to furnish that home to make it a home for a family to live in gets donated. These veterans, they don't pay a dime.
That's great.
And they get handed keys, and it's theirs. They can do with it as they please. And so far, we have never had a single problem or issue come up that we couldn't handle. It's been a wonderful adventure for our group.
And you were the one who actually incorporated it. Is that right?
I did. As an attorney, I'm always the one. I don't want to say bad guy, but I'm the guy that wants to make sure it's all done correctly, so that it's all done on the up and up. And so what we ended up doing was we incorporated the group together. Made sure that we had all the proper paperwork done with the state because we needed to be a 501(c) entity for tax purposes. We got the certified public accountants together to make sure all the finances are run correctly because we're now dealing with a fairly significant amount of money, fairly significant amount of partners, and we had to make sure it was done the right way.
So it's a nonprofit organization, and how long has it been around? What year did y'all get started?
I want to say 2005.
Okay. So it's been around for a while. I know a lot of people have heard of it in the community. So if people at home want to get involved in Operation Finally Home, what role could they play or how could they help with the organization?
We are always looking for partners. If you want to do something as minimal as just donate $5, you can go to ofa.org, and it's all online, and you can support them that way. If you want to get involved by helping find new real estate, or if you want to get involved by helping submit fixtures, it can be faucets, it can be anything you want to do to add to it. We're always looking for things like that. And more importantly, the thing that we have the hardest struggle with, and people never believe me when I tell them this, is we have the hardest time finding people to award these homes to. Because you're talking about soldiers that are dedicated to themselves and dedicated to their families, who have a code of honor, who live life a certain way, and they're not looking for handouts. And so it's very difficult to get these families to come forward to even put their names into consideration. We have to talk to base commanders. We have to talk to the Pentagon. We have to go to all kinds of resources just to even find these families, because these families, they're not looking for help. They're not looking for handouts. They don't want anything that hasn't been earned, but they have earned it. And they have to understand there's groups of people, there are Americans here that want them to be taken care of. We want to give back for what they've done for us.
Absolutely. That website again is ofa.org. We'll be right back after a short commercial break to talk a little bit more about some Veterans Day organizations.